I'm truly beginning to realize why I don't really have many friends, man. And when I look back on the patterns of the people that I have been friends with, it's like the patterns have all been the same. And it's like I'm not trying to call anybody in particular out. I'm just saying that the patterns have been the same, man. And all the friends that I've had who were non-black have always been, all down and willing to be friends and just cool as fuck with me until like they find out some shit that's non-white, man, about me. They find out, that I got other black friends, or I'm down with like rap music or shit like that, or that I'm dating a black female. It's like suddenly they just want to like suddenly just like disassociate and shit. And it's like when you tell them like oh, I'm dating this female and she's white and shit like that, it's like they're all like, oh, when are we gonna meet her? We want to meet her, and when do we get to see what she's like? But when you tell them you're dating a black female, they just be like, oh. It's just reasons like that I haven't really wanted to have any friends, man, because a lot of them just turn out to be fake, man, or all about their selves and shit, man. And I honestly believe I need to get out of this area that I'm in Florida, man. Because I've developed like so many negative views since I've lived in this area, man. It's just like fucked with my brain, man. And I'm not saying that all of Florida is the same, but the area I'm in, it just like the whole culture is just like anti-black, anti-minority and shit. It's like it's so anti-minority where I'm at here that like minorities will like just do anything to disassociate themselves from each other and shit, man. I mean, I'm surrounded by St. Pete, Tampa, and Clearwater, and in those particular areas, it's a lot different, man, because it's more diverse. You have more of a variety, and you have more of a melting pot, and in my experiences, rolling through those places, it's like the whole vibe was a lot different, man. The whole vibe was a lot different. I always get a more positive vibe when I'm out in those areas, bigger cities, man. But like where I'm at here in Palm Harbor, it's just like the whole culture. I just don't like it, man. I just don't like it, and it's like as soon as I can get out, man, I'll be out. Seriously. And believe me, man, I'm not naive enough to think that if you move away, racism will be gone. Like if you move to somewhere else, like you won't encounter any racism. Like I'm not naive enough to believe that. But there are different vibes you get about different areas, man. When there's areas that are more diverse, there's a much different vibe than the vibe you get in, like, say, smaller areas and shit. And I'm not necessarily saying the area I'm in is like small, because it's not really like small, but you know, according to the census, I've done research on the city I live in. The census says that 92% of my city is white, and like 3 or 4% is Hispanic, and like 1.3% is black, man. And it's like, that just goes to tell you right there, man. And it's funny because I know I've done many customer service videos on here, and the customer service, especially with these stink ass females and shit. And you know, when I go to these other cities, like when I'm in Tampa shopping, you know, or if I'm going to, like, you know, a restaurant in like Tampa or Clearwater or something, it's like I get much better service. Like, they're much more friendly, because I think they're more accustomed to diversity, and they interact with black folks more, man. Like the girl I'm with now, we were at the beach a couple nights ago, and she lives in St. Pete. So on the way back from the beach, we stopped at the 7-Eleven and, you know, got some few drinks and shit, and the cashier was female, and I'm just and right before I even got to the checkout, I'm like, oh damn, she's gonna be rude as fuck, because it seems to always happen. But this chick was like nice, like friendly, and I'm like, wow. Where I'm at here in Palm Harbor, they're never friendly, man. Especially when they see somebody of color. When they see somebody of color, they just automatically turn into like shut the fuck up mode and just scan your shit and get you the fuck out of there, man. Like the other day, man, it's like this lady who was waiting on people, the cashier lady was, you know, ringing people up and talking and shit, and when she got to me, she wasn't necessarily rude, but their whole vibe just changes. Like the whole attitude just changes. Like she just started like grabbing my shit and swiping it real quick, and don't even tell me the total. Like I gotta look at the screen and shit, man. And it's funny because I never encountered this before I moved here to Palm Harbor, and it's like I'm realizing that it's a problem where I'm at more than I've ever encountered, man. So, you know, I thought I'd put that out there, but peace.